Hey, welcome in. Welcome in. How's it going, guys? We're gonna do today's stream. Kind of pick up like we did last week from where we left off last week, but we moved up an episode. Last week we did episode 8, where I just basically imported, trimmed, and cut up my interview, or voiceover, A-roll, whatever you want to call it, primary footage, and we stopped there. So we moved on now to episode 9, and I've already done that step for episode 9, where we're going to bring in just the B-roll today. I'm really not going to mess much with graphics or soundtracks or anything. So that's kind of what we're going to do today, is how I match my B-roll. We're going to be using a shot list. And if you're interested, the music in the background, Seberg 1000, S-E-E-B-U-R-G. It's easy on the stream, so to speak. So yeah, that's what we're going to have that. I'll turn it down just a hair. So it's in the background. You might hear it, you might not now. It should be up there high enough. So let's look at our B-roll, our A-roll here. See, I've got my timeline kind of broken up into different face cam shots. Some of it's going to be voiceover, some of it's going to be on camera. So that's kind of where we're at with this, is adding the B-roll. Now to do that, I need to add my shot list. And so here's a shot of my shot list, so to speak. If you'll look on here, we're going to kill the Seberg just for clarity reasons. So right now you see my shot list right there, cold open, and it kind of gives me a voiceover on-screen action there. The shots that we wanted to get for the B-roll, there's the different classes that helped me with these, assisted with these. And so yellow just means it was a set shot, kind of like, production shot. The light blue there means that it was the observer shot. So in episode 9, what we do is called the fishbowl activity. I didn't start with that, sorry. In the fishbowl activity, you have one group do the production start to finish. Set it up, orchestrate it, and another group stands back and takes notes, observes, kind of sees what went well, what didn't go well, how would they fix it. Then they flip-flop and they do it again. So by the end of the class period, they've seen the production twice and they've learned from their mistakes. So they're creating, they're reflecting, and then they're improving all in the same class period. And we're getting this thing shot twice with 2 different groups, and we can use the best out of that. This is for a documentary style interview. You can use it for anything. It's a really good activity outside of AV production. So you can literally teach anything that is demonstration related. And you're also teaching your kids problem solving, critical critiques, constructive feedback, and whatnot. So it's a really good place to do that. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. Give me a second to click over here. And let's see what we got here. All right, so yeah, here we go. Now, as you can see here, we've got a bunch of different shots, the cold open or the hook, if you're into the short form, and kind of what I'll be saying there on that. Then we've got segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, 4, 5. We also have the graphics intermingled in here. We're not really going to touch on the graphics today. It's going to be more just B-roll. The graphics are made in Photoshop and brought in separately. We may have time, we may not, to do those, but just to kind of see what my production run looks like. So we'll start with the cold open, and I say, want your students to learn production, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be students setting up lights, boom mics, framing shots. So if I go over here, and we're going to look at our B-roll. I got my folders, I got my A-roll or primary footage, I got my audio, which is my track down here. Recorded separately from my camera. I keep it backed up on my camera, but I also do it on a voice recorder or a sound recorder. There's my sequence timeline. Here's my B-roll, my graphics, my thumbnail. If I want to, pose for shots after the shoot or whatever, I'll put my thumbnail there, and my intro. I can go ahead and drop the intro in here. We're going to go here. This is just, actually I won't. I'm going to do that next because we have the hook before the intro. So We're going to go into B-roll. Now I've got feedback, interview setup, student interviews, student news. That's for the end there. We'll talk about that shortly, or we may not get to it. I don't know yet. That's the next episode, the student news broadcast. Interview setup. So I go in here and I got my proxy files. If I want to use them, I always record in proxy for these shots, so that I'm getting 2 files and then I can easily link them and don't have to create them in here. So I go here. Let's start off. Let's create some proxies. I'm going to go in here, proxy, attach files, attach proxies. It's going to bring this up, and I'm going to attach that, and we're going to go in here and we're going to find my proxies. And so it's going to take a minute to set this up. It's got to read the drives. We are working off a server that's not in the same room with us, and we're not working off the local machine, which would be a lot faster if we were. Because we're basically, kind of dictated by what the server wants to let us do. We can stretch this out. No, we can't do that one there. I get the not responding. Clicking on it too much. Okay, there we go. So, nope, that's not it. It's this one. That's why it took so long. And we're going to go down to my folder. And we're going to go down to Lights, Camera, Learn, episode 9. We're going to go into B-roll, and we're going to go into interview setup, proxy. Now we're looking for 729, and so that's right there, 729 SO3. And we're going to hit OK. Now what that should do is lock in that proxy there. If I want to do this, it didn't do them all. Sometimes it does. It just depends on the project, or maybe I have a setting off on this PC. I want to go do the same thing, but attach proxies again. It's going to take us a minute. 730, attach. We're going to go down to M. Do the same thing again. Sorry, for the repetition here, but kind of early morning. Got a long day today. We got graduation tonight. I'm involved with a live stream on that at the Coliseum we're using, or at the center we're using. Let's do interview setup, proxy. We're going to go 30 right there. Hit OK. Now attach. Okay, it wants me to do them all. I'm not going to mess with that right now. It's not doing them all yet, so I don't like that. We'll go back to this. All right, so let's just get to what we wanted. Let's get back to the point. Back on track, sorry. Now we're going to be looking for students setting up, lights, boom mics, framing the shot. So we're looking at different things like that. Now, I haven't updated this version of Premiere Pro, but there's some AI that can search the video clips for this now. I don't know how good it is. You might can tell me how good it is or isn't. It's still early in that process. So yeah. Let's look at students setting up. Let's see what we got here. We're going to click this, bring this a little shaky. It's kind of blocking his face right there. It's not a great shot. We're not going to bring in the... So yeah, we can do this right here. I like that shot. We don't need much of it, So I'm just going to block it here, go out point, drag the video over, and there's what we got for the B-roll there. Okay, so we got a little shakiness right there. I know it's probably just camera shake, but all right, so let's use the back end of it, a little more stability there. Okay, so we've got that shot. Now we want to click to somebody else, kind of doing the same thing. A little blur out there. Trying to set that. Okay, there's a tight shot. Okay, so let's use that. We're going to drag that down. We want to kind of keep it the same length so there's some flow to the B-roll. So these being roughly the same length there. Some people like to use B-roll like on the drops or on the the audio. That helps you.
Students to learn production without lecturing every step of the way.
All right, so we got that one. Let's see what we got here. We probably need 2 more sets. We got some lighting here. So you got to be careful with the lighting because, all right, so that's a little blurry. I don't mind the blurring for focus.
We'll work on setting lighting next year.
Let's move that there. We had a little bump there. Getting a little delay here.
Let them watch it unfold.
Now,
you can clapper that slate. I call it the clap.
cool shot here. Try to get where it's settled, not so shaky or moving. All right, here we go. We're gonna drag this guy in here, and we're probably gonna stretch him out. Now let's see what we got for the hook here.
Want your students to learn production without lecturing every step of the way? Let them watch it unfold live.
And we're going to take 2 here.
This is the fishbowl, a hands-on observational activity that teaches teamwork, self-assessment, and production skills by watching the process in real time.
All right, so I'm gonna bring that in. We're gonna kind of bring that over here.
Watch it unfold live. This is the fishbowl, a hands-on observational activity that teaches teamwork, self-assessment, and production skills by watching the process in real time.
All right, so right there, let's see what the next clip is.
Today, on lights, camera.
So that's our today. So we probably want our intro in here. That's just the feel of it. You know, I don't know that I have that on there, but we're gonna drop our little 7-second intro. It's not B-roll, it's intro roll. So I'm gonna move this back. So here's kind of our hook and our intro.
Want your students to learn production without lecturing every step of the way? Let them watch it unfold live. This is the fishbowl, a hands-on observational activity that teaches teamwork, self-assessment.
Ready for the shift change in volume here. I have to adjust that. No, that's not terrible. It's right at -12. All right, so we got that part done. Now we're going to be doing the kind of intro to it.
Today, on Lights, Camera, Learn, we're breaking down how to run the fishbowl and why it helps students grow both as creators and critics.
All right, so right there we got that. Now let's go back to our shot list and see where we've messed it up so far. This is the fishbowl. It wanted us to go, this is the fishbowl. We wanted to do the B-roll over the top of that. Huh, so do we want more B-roll, I guess? We could jump. So we want B-roll cover in there. So we're gonna go back to our B-roll. I say we as a group. Feedback, this is where they're observing, so we're kind of talking about that. Let's go here. Bunch of different shots of kids on clipboards, looking attentively. All of this was staged for this shoot, but we've done this before.
Watch it unfold live. This is the fishbowl, a hands-on observation.
Looking for checking the shakiness of the footage. Once again, keep the flow here, keeping these B-roll clips about the same length. We can go in and shorten and do transitions if we want.
Fishbowl, a hands-on observational activity.
I don't like that shot. I need to change that.
This is the fishbowl, a hands-on observation.
That's kind of the same shot from two different ways. Let's do a tight shot. Let's see what this is. Over the shoulder. No, we don't want to repeat it there. Let's skip to him. I like this a little better. It might have a better flow to it. Let's zoom in on our timeline so we can match this since we're working so much in the front end here.
Fishbowl, a hands-on observational activity that teaches teamwork, self-assessment, and production skills.
Okay, little lag there, sorry.
A hands-on observational activity.
All right, so we got a hard camera move right there. I got to fix that. Weren't using a gimbal or anything, so that's why that happened.
Observational activity that teaches teamwork.
All right. Okay, got a little shaky there. All right, and we're gonna go here. See if we can't. Do this. We're going to go back to him, and then we're going to end on this with a feedback. Caught that, didn't I? A little overlap there. Okay, here's our hook and our intro now. All of them.
For students to learn production without lecturing every step of the way, let them watch it unfold live. This is the Fishbowl, a hands-on observational activity that teaches teamwork, self-assessment, and production skills by watching the process in real time.
There, I like that better. It does flow better. Got to follow the plan. Follow the plan.
Today,
got a little overlap, which I'm not against there, you know. You get a little kind of a accidental J-cut there.
Today on Lights, Camera, Learn, we're breaking down how to run the Fishbowl and why it helps students grow both as creators and critics.
All right, so normally right here we would put in segment 1. Oh, there goes our LED light. Let's see what we got here real quick before I go darkness on you guys. Yeah, that's pretty dark, and that's just on a timer. We're gonna up this a little bit. That's a little better right there. Kind of ghosting, head in the dark. Hey! So we're gonna probably put in a graphic right there and a little audio cue to kind of show we changed to segment 1. That's the feel I get anyway. All right, so segment 1, we're gonna explain the fishbowl concept. Yeah, so we go back here and students observing quietly with clipboards. We're going to go back to the clipboard shots, you know. That way they can kind of see it. We'll probably use a little different ones, a few different ones, and go from there. Let's see here. Didn't really plan my graphics out right there. Should have had a segment 1 in there. I'm going to drop it as a marker. So if I go in here to my graphics, I said we wouldn't do this, but we're going to do it. I got a bunch of graphics in here that we made. We're going to do segment 1. What is the fishbowl? We typically do it to this, and then I copy. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to unlink first. Copy. Now I'll just go here, right there. Now on this and this, I'm going to go back. I'm going to link these two back up in case I move them. Link. Now I can make this right here more of a transition. And we're going to bring our graphic up to here.
Grow both as creators and critics.
That gives us a little break there, you know.
The fishbowl.
So we're kind of extending it out here. I don't have enough room on my timeline yet to do that, so we're going to slide stuff back. And now we're going to bring it back to right here.
The Fishbowl is a live classroom experience where one group of students produces a documentary-style interview, and the rest watch, take notes, and analyze. In Group A, you have the production.
Okay, so right there is just me kind of talking. I may not follow my flow here yet. I got it, but I like the graphic here. So, yeah, that's it right there. We're gonna stick with the graphic here. Said I wouldn't do this, but I'm a liar. So there we go. We're gonna go here. I don't know how that's gonna flow. We're gonna find out.
The Fishbowl is a live classroom experience where one group of students produces a documentary-style interview, and the rest watch, take notes, and analyze. In Group A, you have the production team. In Group B, the observer team. After the action, you get peer feedback from observers to producers.
Okay, nice smooth transition right there. We're gonna see what the next clip is.
It's not a simulation, it's real production, real challenges, and real decisions.
We're gonna probably jump to B-roll here. Just kind of bring that up. So we go back up to our B-roll and just kind of show the student interviews. Kind of waiting for our thumbnails to pop so we can get a good look at it. Probably only need 2 clips here, short clips. Oh, this is the, never mind. Student interviews is the wrong one. We're going to do interview setup or feedback. Let's go back to interview setup. We'll do one from setup and we'll do one from feedback, one we haven't used. There we go, start there. Got a little bit of a float in the camera there, but that's okay. It's gonna be a short one. See, because I use the end of the clip. A lot of times they'll shake there at the end of the clip.
It's not a simulation, it's real production, real
yeah, see how you got that hard hit right there at the end? Cut that off and bring it out some more. See what that looks like with a transition, without a transition.
It's not a simulation. It's
now let's go back to the observers, which would be the feedback session, and find a clip we haven't used yet. We're going to get, he's a little out of frame there. All right, we're going to drag this in here. Go from the start and see what the, it's not going to give us that. It's probably going to have a little float or bounce in here before I drop it.
real challenges and real decisions, and it's real production, real challenges and real decisions, and real reflection.
Okay, so that kind of carries in to that part, okay?
And real decisions, and real reflection.
We'll move that up so we know that's where it needs to be. All right, so our next run is voiceover, graphic, segment 2. We're going to go through the checklist. So we have a segment 2 introduction here. So what I do here is copy. I know that says segment 1. We're going to try this and see if it works for us. So I got this right here, and I want to go back to my graphics and set it up to where I know segment 2 is on here. That's segment 2 classroom, segment 2 right here. So we're going to click on here and we're going to replace. If we're allowed, replace with clip. Won't let us do from the bin. So we're going to do this right here, replace with clip from source monitor. Now that should have changed that and kept the music. Man, we got a hard drop there on that end, don't we? Yeah, we want to lose that. I caught that now versus later when I have to change it and make me mad at myself. Get those B-roll clips like 10 to 15. And we got lag, so I won't be able to see it.
Production, real challenges and real decisions and real reflection.
There we go. So there's your next kind of there. That's kind of long, you know, but we'll leave it there for now. I can go back later in editing and get it. Now we're in to the next segment, which is segment 2. We're going to drag this over and see what it says.
You'll need a simple sit-down style interview. Think one interviewer.
Teachers, please look at your sub-volunteer list.
Sorry I had a little interruption. I'm probably going to have to cut the stream short right here. You've kind of seen my process for bringing in B-roll today. Got to get ready for the day again. And I appreciate you guys hopping in here. If you're watching this on replay, feel free to leave a comment, questions, whatever you feel you need to do, or maybe you can bring some pointers in. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking us out. Like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell.